Hi everyone, my name is Daniel, and I'm the project manager for Cube's eSports team. Over the last few months, I had the opportunity to lead a talented team of designers to create a digital solution in the realm of eSports and gaming. The project that we worked on is called eCasts, and we've designed a podcast platform driven by a love for gaming, computing, and hobbyist communities. We're excited to be able to share it with you all. As a team, we began our project in Miro, where we would regularly answer questions that helped in defining everyone's goals as individuals and what we wanted to achieve throughout the scope of this term. After getting a good picture of what everyone's objectives were, we began to discuss what type of solution we wanted to design within the eSports problem space. After ideating and reviewing ideas over the course of 4 meetings, we collectively decided that creating a digital prototype with a focus on podcasts would allow our team to take on a unique problem as designers and define a solution within our problem space that had yet to be explored thoroughly. There are several defining reasons as to why we chose podcasts as a form of media. Through our preliminary research, we were able to determine that there is a growing market for esports and gaming related podcasts, where few competing platforms have a direct focus on podcast creation. Gaming-focused podcasts and commentaries often cover niche forms of content, including strategy formation and game development, that isn't always easy to come across without extensive searching. In addition to this, podcasts are diverse in nature. Everyone has different reasons for listening to podcasts, whether they want to learn more about a hobby or interest, or use podcasts as a simple way to pass time throughout a long day. As we approach the end of this stage, we created a collective statement that would help us define the goals of our project. Designing a platform that acknowledges unique communities of players and hobbyists through podcasts as a broad medium of entertainment.
To gain further insight into our target demographic, we designed a public research survey that placed an emphasis on defining user needs. The survey consisted of 10 questions and was able to give our team valuable insight into what direction the project should take. Our survey has shown us that our target audience is overwhelmingly dominated by individuals ages 18 to 24, and the majority of the participants spend around 10 to 15 hours per week viewing gaming and esports related content. It is worth noting that 36% of our participants do not watch podcasts very often, which we brought into consideration when shaping eCasts user experience. From a usability perspective, we learned that most individuals care about the organization of content with an emphasis on accessibility and inclusivity.
After completing our public survey, we conducted interviews with several individuals of various backgrounds in gaming and content creation. Using these conversations, we were able to construct 2 user personas that helped us define our projected user base and gave our team a better representation of their wants, needs, experiences, and end goals. The first persona created was inspired by our interview with Stephen Quach. Stephen is an active coach for the University of Waterloo League of Legends team and spends much of his time consuming content that can help him and his team improve. In having this goal, Stephen can find it difficult at times to find the specific topics or strategies that can help his team do so. Ultimately, what Stephen is looking for is a platform that can finally capture and maintain his attention with niche strategy discussions and provides video to support these. Our second persona was for Kayla RB. Kayla is an up-and-coming live streamer on the platform Twitch. She enjoys the occasional podcast regarding the game she streams, but often finds that the platforms she uses do not support her creator aspirations. She seeks to find a domain that can satisfy her cravings as a consumer, as well as endorses its creators and provides them with the tools to continue growing.
When establishing the visual language of our solution, we took into account many factors such as typography, iconography, and color that appeals to current trends within esports. We began our visual design process by creating a mood board to help us draw inspiration from and establish a strong visual appeal. Through this design session, we were able to determine that bright, vibrant colors with an emphasis on typography were among common trends in game design and in the modern esports scene. When designing a logo for our solution, we created a minimalistic design through the use of a 4x4 grid that incorporates both the letters E and C from the eCasts name. At large, the direction we took is able to comply with modern trends in esports and design alike, and presents eCasts through a modern but energetic visual language.
Using the research finding we gathered, we mapped out the main user flows of the app with wireframes. This was an essential process to translate our thoughts into tangible ideas and better visualize the problems. We show our low-fidelity wireframes to the execs and received some initial feedback. Based on the internal feedback, we went on to refine our low-fidelity wireframes into mid-fidelity on Figma. To ensure the cohesive look and feel of the app, we then developed a style guide which served as a synthesizing documents that showcase the type choices, color palette, and visual imagery. We follow the brand attitudes on fonts, pairing, and colors to ensure that it is aesthetically reflecting the brand identity. Once we decided on a visual layout direction, we then created high-fidelity wireframes in Figma and make sure all the high-fidelity mockups have a cohesive look throughout.
Our prototype begins with the user going through an onboarding process. We give the user a few sign-up options, including the option to sign in to an existing account. For the purpose of this walkthrough, we will be going through the sign-up process. When the user signs up using their email address, they are required to verify it by using a 4-digit code. After this, the user will be answering 2 questions about their interests so that the app is customized to their needs. When the user gets to the home screen, they are presented with 2 pages, recommended and categories. The recommended page has podcast genres and topics, creators, and specific podcasts. Categories are a list of all the categories that eCasts offers. The nav bar includes 5 things: home, search, library, messaging, and profile. When the user wants to search for a podcast, they are given categories to go through. And if they want to manually search for a podcast, they can type it in the search bar. Once the user finds their podcast, they can select it. Here, we are presented with the podcast, and we are given the options to download it, to heart it, and to see more detail, or to view it in a different page, and also to add it to the user's library. In the library page, the user can look through their following podcasts, creators, or downloaded podcasts. In order to foster a sense of community within the app, we designed a messaging functionality. Users can chat with friends and creators alike about podcasts. The user can also view and edit their own profile. They are given the option to see it in a public view or a non-public view.
It definitely goes without saying that working on eCasts has been an incredibly positive experience, and I hope that everyone on each of the teams can say the same about their respective projects. Thank you all for listening, and enjoy the rest of the showcase.
Hello everybody, I'm Tomas. I am a second year GBDA student and I'm also the project manager for CUBE's fast fashion team. As we all know, fashion is an important form of human expression. However, in an attempt to keep up with trends created by high society brands, retailers create clothes that are very cheaply and unethically mass produced. You probably know this. According to our research, most students do. But as students, it's extremely difficult to shop from sustainable stores without breaking the bank. Most of us don't have stable jobs that allow us to spend a sizable amount on clothes every year. That being said, the majority of students that we surveyed wish to become more mindful and ethical consumers. And so our question became, how might we design a website that educates students on the harsh realities of fast fashion while simultaneously encouraging them to partake in more sustainable fashion behaviors? a website by Waterloo students for Waterloo students that provides a curated list of ethical resources for students to use. In order to do this within the time limits of the term, we had 3 major stages. 1. The inspiration stage. During the inspiration stage, we really wanted to try to figure out a vision for our team. We wanted to learn more about the topic, and so we did a lot of research, and we also looked at resources that are already out there for students and for people in general, just so we could have a better idea of what we wanted to do. 2. The ideation stage. This was the longest stage for us, and during the ideation stage, we brainstormed, we surveyed our peers, we created user flows, wireframed, and prototyped our design. During this stage, we really tried to workshop the user experience to the best of our abilities within the time limits and create as many iterations of the design as we could through virtual group meetups. 3. The implementation stage. During this stage, we actually wanted to create a working site. In order to do this, we split the responsibilities into individual roles and then met once or twice a week for progress updates and to workshop any ideas we had with the rest of the group. But who better to explain this than the ones who really made this all happen? Here are a few messages from the rest of the team.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I worked on the wireframes, mock-ups, created a style guide, and also designed the logo for ReRack, and I really enjoyed this project. It was really nice working with a team who are all passionate about the same problem. So special thanks to the fast fashion team. You guys are amazing, and thank you to Cube for making this possible.
I did the video for fast fashion using Adobe After Effects. I really had fun with this, and I learned a lot about our topic, which was really cool. So I used B-roll from sites like Pexels, and then I gathered a bunch of research along with my group members, which I then condensed into the video, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Daniela Breton, and I'm part of the fast fashion team at Cube. My role on this team was to help design the early stages of the website, which incorporated coming up with our brand name ReRack, how our logo would look, an aesthetically pleasing color palette, and of course completing the wireframing. In addition, when finalizing the website, I managed researching and the copyright. I loved being a part of ReRack because we worked so well together, and I learned a lot about the steps involved in creating a website. Not only did I learn a lot about teamwork, but I'm now educated on the fast fashion industry. I will for sure be implementing more sustainable habits and encouraging others to as well.
Hey guys, my name is Jeannie and I'm one of the web developers for my team. And my role is to code the website, specifically every other page apart from the main page. And I also coded the navigation bar, and then Johnny made some aesthetic changes to that. My experience with Cube and with my team has been really amazing because I loved working with everyone, and I'm just really proud of what we've created together.
Of course, with only a couple of months to work on the project, we couldn't exactly launch a huge campaign or flesh out an entire movement. We weren't able to dwell on every little aspect of the design or put our prototypes up for feedback, but what we were able to do is produce something that we were really proud of on a topic that we really cared about. Here's a scroll through of the working website as presented by Johnny and Jeannie.
Hi, my name is Johnny. I'm one of the web developers at ReRack in the whole Cube team. I created the landing page and the main page for the ReRack website. So as you can see here, we have the nav bar, takes you to the different links of the website. This huge video that Sam's will produce in the future. As you scroll down, we have the why, kind of gives you some statistics about fast fashion and why it's important, with some minor details in the back. The background does switch when you scroll down, which kind of gives the user a better user experience. And then when you scroll down to the bottom, you have these nav links that will take you to other websites as well. And then this button will just take you back to the top.
This is one of the pages of our website, and as you can see here, the page starts off with the background picture that covers almost the entire screen, and this is the title. Up here is the ReRack logo, and this is basically just the navigation bar. And as we scroll down here, there's a little info section that introduces you to the resources that you'll see down below. And these are the resources. The layout is really minimal and simple. And for each picture, there's a hover effect that slightly zooms in the picture. And if there's an external link connected to the picture, clicking on the picture will lead you to the link. And down here is basically just the footer. And I also coded this website to be mobile responsive, which means the layout will still look organized and it will basically still look good when you visit this website from your phone.
And that's about it. To check out the final video and to visit the site live in person, please check out the link that will be posted to CUBE's Instagram later on in the week. We hope to see you there. Bye!
Hello, and welcome to Phridge, the all-in-one AI-powered nutritional food tracker and personal fridge assistant. Meet our team. I'm Coleman. I was in charge of the overall project management, and as well the UI and UX design, along with the initial ideation and research of the idea.
Hi, I'm Veronica. I acted as the content strategist and also contributed to the UI and UX design and the research that was behind it.
Hi, I'm Abishai. I was in charge of the branding and visual design, but also involved with the overall UI UX design work for this project.
Hey, I'm Megan. I assisted with the branding of our product as well as the UX and UI design.
And hi, I'm Eunice. I was involved in the research and the UX and UI design parts of our project.
Through our research, we decided to focus on food waste and food loss at a consumer level. We really wanted to identify what we could control in terms of our contribution to food waste. Studies showed that aside from elements like buying and storage habits, organization was another contributor to the problem. Humans have the tendency to forget things, which leads to other things like purchasing a product you already have, forgetting the expiry dates of items, and ultimately having to throw food out.
Once we narrowed down on the consumer category, we then found data surrounding food loss and food waste on consumers. Through this data and research is when we learned that there was a huge problem in which people are forgetful and that food waste And food loss is often a confusing topic which leads households to throw away as much as $1,800 worth of food annually. Next, we set out to confirm and see this information for ourselves. So, we created a survey roughly regarding some questions that we were interested in. Questions like how people currently track their foods, how much they cook, and how often they clean out their fridges. From these surveys, they opened an insight for us into how our peers handled and treated food, in which a lot of people actually just use receipts, keeping track of mental inventory, or most people don't even track what they purchase at all. Additionally, of the 77 responses we got, about 48% of people find it hard to recall current items in their fridges.
So this leaves us with the question, aren't there already tracking apps out there? We've realized that while there are already apps that people can download and readily use, there's really no incentive for people to keep putting their items. There's really no incentive for people to keep putting in their items and making it a habit to input items into their phones every day or every week on a regular basis. So we came up with an idea that would automatically input the items that you put inside your fridge through cameras and sensors. Then we developed an app that helps you easily read and understand this data, exactly what foods you have in your fridge, how long you've had it, and recommendations based on what you have and how you could be using them. Our solution is through using a camera that is able to mount onto the top of your fridge. This camera has IR sensors, RGB cameras, and depth sensors equipped to track exactly what goes inside and outside the fridge, and sends this data directly to your phone. Your phone then takes this data and tells you exactly what you've put in and at what date. This will be achieved through artificial intelligence and machine learning, specifically image recognition. So aside from preset knowledge, the more items that you put in the fridge, the more that it would eventually recognize and be able to track exactly what item was placed inside it. Additionally, the application side of our product would learn from your eating habits and be able to recommend exactly what recipes you can create through the current foods that you have.
Once we had a solution in mind, we had to think about how a physical camera would actually attach onto the fridge. Because there are so many different fridges in our market, all of the shapes and all of the sizes, this was a challenge to try and make our solution valuable to everyone. After some brainstorming, we were eventually able to develop a simple mock-up of a mountable device with a magnetic clip that would be able to open wide and small, making it adaptable to fit fridges of all shapes and sizes, using magnetic attachment with the clip to make it even more secure. Unfortunately, we did not have the actual budget or tools to develop this into a real-world product, but these mock-ups give us a good idea of what could potentially work. Here we cover our branding outline. Our colors that we chose to focus on include an attention-grabbing orange and multiple shades of purple. The purple we decided represents ambition, success, and innovation. Our orange color symbolizes health and earth, which is the main theme of importance for our users. Overall, our logo includes the following main variables: the P, an underlying camera lens. This connects to the ability of our product within the P, and leaves.
We also implemented visual icons of leaves to convey levels of freshness. Within our app, the three leaves together mean fresh, the two mean expiring soon, and the one fallen leaf represents when items have expired. We did this for visual simplicity using unconscious metaphors of health and well-being, and for easy categorization of ingredients in order to create a clean and cohesive look.
We determined the most important features of our app design and laid out the corresponding UI aspects. This included setup screens, the home screen / freshness tracking screen, nutrition screen, and recipe screen. We then created additional screens to enhance the basic functions provided by those four. For example, we outlined the basic layout of a user onboarding screen, a login screen, a meal plan screen, and a search item screen.
For our home screen, we allowed users to have a simple way to categorize and recognize what exactly is in their fridge. We use a visual graph to provide a general overview of the freshness of ingredients in the fridge, and also added expandable categories with freshness labels that allow you to have a closer look at each ingredient. In addition, we also incorporated an easy read search feature that allows users to look for any specific items in the fridge.
The nutrition screen presents to users easily digestible information on the nutrition facts of the items in their fridge. Specifically, it shows the general nutrition facts of their entire fridge and detailed facts on items. This way, users can keep an eye on such details whenever they need to and make plans accordingly. The screen also repeats the information as to the freshness level of the items to keep users aware.
We wanted to let users have access to an array of different recipes. We organized them in a way that would help users make best use of the items in their fridge, be able to discover new recipes, and create a collection of their favorites. While the All recipes and favorites are quite self-explanatory, the Focus tab displays all recipes that can be made using the contents of the user's fridge and/or with only a couple of additional ingredients. We also made it so that users could search for specific recipes as well as add recipes to a customizable meal plan. We were able to learn a process of development from the ground up through initial ideation, research, planning, and finally to design and creation. Unfortunately, we did not have enough time to implement all of the features that we wanted, nor did we have the actual budget to develop a working prototype for the camera sensor side of the product. However, this was a project that is definitely able to be revisited and further developed if our futures allow us to.
Thank you for tuning in and learning about Phridge with us.